Now it's 8-5. Houston leads it. Isiah has it against Floyd. Dumars off a screen. Got the screen from Edwards. Wiggins got there late. Way too late. Joe D sticks it from the wing. 4 now and 45 left in the first at the Palace. The Rockets lead the Pistons by 9, and Houston turns it over. Edwards lobs it way up for Isiah, who taps to Dumars. Joe D down the lane. Dishes wide of the lane to Isiah. Running left hand. Works in the paint. Yes. 24-17. Isaiah's first hoop. From the baseline over the hole, the fans holler air ball, and the Pistons come the other way. They could cut it back to 4, maybe 3. Isiah trapped on the outside. Larry Smith all over him. He'll lean in. Found the open man at the wire, and he laid it in. And Bill Laimbeer comes up limping. Over 7 to play in the half. Isiah went baseline and brought it down, put it back up and in. That's as close to the starting unit as Chuck Daly can come with Bill Laimbeer in the locker room. Isiah catches it wide of the lane, takes it down the line, and sticks it. 45-39, just a 6-point Houston lead, and Isiah knocked it off Floyd and out of bounds. And he forced the turnover. Don Chaney's team with the lead here. 45-39. Dumars to Isiah. He'll force from the foul line in the crowd. And back in again. He can feel it right now, and he wants to get it up there when he gets it. Houston going deep, and Thorpe threw it away. Dumars the other way to Isiah. Isiah had a bunny, and he gave John an even easier one on the dunk. In the corner to Joe. He dunks, he got it. 57-50. Joe D was 16. Puts the pedal to the metal on the way to 6,000. The way he's going, here comes Thorpe with the baseline drive. Shot in and out to Rodman on the deck. Picked up by Wiggins. Baseline gun, no. Hakeem snatches it off, though. Slapped away by Laimbeer. Again, it comes into Rockets' hands, but Thorpe drops it. Isiah, coast to coast, and up and in. Off the window. And Don Chaney can't get it stopped soon enough. Timeout, Houston. 9:01 left in the third. The Pistons are down just 5, 57-52 at the Palace on the world champion Pistons Basketball Network. Dumars topside to Isiah against Sleepy. Tried to show and go. Contact at the foul line. He sticks it. He's fouled. Sleepy Floyd all over Steve Jabby about the call. He had better be careful.
Well, it's a situation where the call could have gone either way. Sleepy may have had a legitimate beef. That's a tough call for the official to make. He didn't have his feet planted.
Isiah tonight has 13. The Pistons are 18-5 when he scores 20 or more.
They picked up the entire group here with their play on the ball.
Isiah working outside. Dishes deep in the corner to Laimbeer. Long guns, and he got it. They're back to within 2. Isiah outside against Floyd. About halfway through the third. Topside Dumars will take a dotted line and fire and fill it. 65-60. Larry Smith in the game on a switch. He's against Isiah outside. Floyd runs at him. Isiah long guns and misses. Otis Thorpe taps it, but Rodman has it. To Isiah. Got it. Rodman drills it. 71-62. 85-72. Isiah against Maxwell. Clock is at 12. Deep on the wing to Bill Laimbeer. They want to get it to the posting Mark McGuire. He is 2-time. Back to Lamb on the wing. Cross court to Isiah. The long ball goes.
Well, the Rockets made a mistake in their rotation. Laimbeer pounded it to Isiah. Good ball movement. Found the open man.
Bothered in backcourt. Finally gives it to Joe. Way up to Rodman. 6:20 left. Houston by 11. Isiah against Floyd wants to pick and roll with Edwards against Sleepy and Hakeem. He'll come down the lane and finger roll and fill it up. Huge hoop. Pistons are within 9. with 6 minutes left. Nice touch on those two. 89-78. Edwards inside against Hakeem. Short hook and he hit it. Hakeem backed off. Olajuwon playing with 4 fouls.
Pistons are starting to pick up their pace offensively.
And here's a defensive move. Isiah swiping from Floyd midcourt. He'll lay it up and in. Houston 89, the Pistons 82. 4:45 left, and the crowd comes alive. Wiggins trapped in backcourt, does manage to get it to Thorpe. He'll cross-court it to Floyd. Now Buck Johnson starts down the lane, and he palmed the basketball. The trap forced the turnover with 4.5 left. And the Pistons have inched back to within 7. They're looking to cut it to 5, maybe 4. Here they come. Them both. And Houston leads by 9, 3:15 to play. Hakeem with 33. Dumars behind the foul line. Squares up and guns, and he got it. What a confident shot, and it's 25 in the scorebook for Joe. Calling for the calls to be made on both ends, he says. 93-86, Houston trying to hang on. Edwards posting Hakeem. Hakeem's playing with 5. James from the lane. Fills it up.
Well, that's a good move on Chuck's part to take the ball into Olajuwon.
Wiggins, though, coast to coast, lays it up. Edwards blocked it. Goaltending's call. No, they're going to call an offensive foul on Wiggins. Cleared off with a forearm.
Well, he certainly did. You see the contact out front. I thought the official was going to call it right there, but he didn't. And you see Wiggins go in, he leads with the left arm, and that's a call that the officials always make.
Now it's 93-88, 2:22 to play. Isiah inside. Runs it up and in. But an offensive foul takes that away.
Well, George, listen, here's another situation. It is an offensive foul. He was stationed. He wasn't moving.
He ran into Thorpe.
Well, Isiah's tough. He had the contact, still had the presence of mind to get the shot out. He's a heck of a tough competitor.
2 minutes left. Olajuwon outside to Floyd. Sleepy got Isiah by him with a pump fake. He fired and missed to Rodman. Way up. Isiah's alone. He'll lay it up and lay it in. Now it's 93-90. A minute and 57 to play. Don Chaney wants to call timeout, and he does. 1:51 left. Houston hanging on for dear life at the Palace on the world champion Pistons basketball network.
This is the time, George, you want to be on the free throw line with an opportunity to win the ball game for your team. And he missed both of them, so that's 3 out of 4 they've missed in the last 30 seconds here.
Mitchell Wiggins did miss it. Here come the Pistons, less than a minute left. They're down 4. Isiah in the lane to Jimmy Edwards. He'll power it up and in. Houston by a deuce. James has 15. It's 94-92. Otis Thorpe to forecourt for the Rockets.
Isiah will not let Sleepy Floyd get the ball, and their offense is shut down about 40 feet away from the basket.
They give it to Hakeem way outside against Rodman. He'll jump it up from the perimeter. An air ball out of bounds. Wiggins lost it. Give Isiah all the credit there. You're absolutely right, Coach.
He wouldn't let Sleepy Floyd catch the ball. There was no other release.
Timeout. 31 seconds left. Houston 94. The Pistons 92 at the Palace on the world champion Pistons basketball network. John McLeod called the overplay. Isiah wouldn't let Sleepy Floyd have the ball. They couldn't set up their offense.
That's right, George. He wouldn't let him have the basketball. Otis Thorpe had no place to go. He throws the ball to Olajuwon. Olajuwon has Sleepy Floyd to his left. He has no place to go. So he throws up an errant shot, and this is what happens. The Pistons have the poise to win this kind of a game.
And they have 30 seconds to win it. They're down a deuce.
They're in good shape right now.
Dumars catches it foul line, drives to the lane, hooks, and hits! Joe D is tied it up. 19 seconds to play.
Great call by Chuck Daly. Another pick with Edwards picking on Dumars.
That was not your average shot, folks. We have 13 seconds left. And the Rockets have fizzled, and the Pistons have sizzled In the final minutes here, we have a tie game at 94, but the Rockets still have a chance to win it.
Well, they do. What we've seen here, George, we've seen the beneficial effects of playing at home in front of a very supportive crowd.
Thorpe to Sleepy Floyd.
Interesting to see whether they take it all the way down and try to win it at the end or try to go for a quick shot. I think they're going to try to make sure that if they don't get the shot, they're going to take it into overtime. There's no place to throw it.
Hakeem inside, shot short. There's the horn, overtime. And you know what overtime means on the road. At the end of regulation, the Pistons have tied up the Rockets at 94. Overtime's next on the world champion Pistons Basketball Network. 3 now and 40 to play in overtime. Dumars against Maxwell, now Rodman topside. Isiah works the wing. Floyd with him, he'll go baseline and hook and hit, and he's fouled. The superstar steps up one more time. Floyd fouled him.
Here's Isiah making the drive. He had his man beaten in a one-on-one. The help was late. And he somehow finds a way to make these plays when the Pistons need them late in the game.
Last two Piston baskets have been hooks by the guards. Dumars tied it at the end of regulation.
Well, there's nothing like a three-point play to erase the advantage of a 4-point lead.
Otis Thorpe down the lane. No. Hakeem's tap. No rebound. Lambier. .240 to play in overtime. Isiah against Floyd in the corner. Squares up and gun. He got it! What a big-time basket that was! Eyeball to eyeball with Sleepy, and he put him to sleep. And it's a triple. And it's 100 to 99. Dennis Rodman from the sideline to Lambier between the rings. Isiah got inside Floyd. He threw it up and in. And the Pistons lead at 102-101. 37 for Isiah. Maxwell bothered in backcourt. Finally gets it to Floyd. They'll cross court to Otis Thorpe. Look out for Isiah. He has 3 steals to go with his 10 assists and 37 points. Buck Johnson from midcourt. Pistons by 1.
They're having trouble getting the ball in, George.
They do get it to Floyd, who's overplayed by Isiah. Now Maxwell. 10 seconds left in overtime.
They're going to run a 2-man game.
Maxwell's going to be called for the offensive foul. Joe Dumars took the charge. With 5 seconds to go. We'll stay here during a Piston timeout. And Isiah slaps it out at midcourt. 0.2 seconds left. The Pistons will win it in overtime. There's the horn. And Chuck Daly and the Pistons weather the storm. A deep breath for Joe Dumars and Isiah. The Pistons rode their 2 guards offensively to the win. Although they got some sound performances elsewhere, Isiah and Joe D were tremendous competitors tonight. The final in overtime. The Pistons 106 and Houston 102. This is the world champion Pistons Basketball Network.